Good morning from Mull. So this is my third full day on Mull, or it will be my third full day, and it is my day 7 of my Scotland road trip. So I think today, it's looking a lovely day. There is a breeze, and it is quite a cold breeze at the minute, but it's only like 7:30 in the morning. I think I am going to walk to the ferry across to Iona, which is just over a mile from the site. So I'll leave the car here today, go and check out ferry times, and hopefully get across to Iona today. So that's the plan. After my second cup of coffee, and then I'll go and get dressed and I'm good to go. But just look at that. We're off to catch the ferry to Iona. The lady in reception said they're pretty frequent. In the morning, she reckons they're about hourly, and then in the afternoon, she said it's basically like a shuttle service every 15 minutes. So I'm hoping to get the 10:30. We obviously decided to walk from the site. I'm now thinking, should I have come in the car? Because it's gone 10:05 now. Not sure how far I am. I did consider trying to hitch a lift with one of these cars, but I thought better of it with having Molly. I'm quite out of breath. It's flipping warm. I think the jacket's definitely going to have to come off. I've surprised myself now, because I'm actually here in Finneport. So I should make... Good morning. Go on, Mull. Come on, quickly, go on. Sorry, I'm only just having a sniff with another dog. Yeah, I should make the 10:30 now. So I'll do another little video once I'm on the ferry. Yay! So we've made it in plenty of time. It's taken half an hour, I would say, from the site. I did walk pretty fast though, because I thought I don't want to wait till the next one at I think it's 11:45. I've just looked, there are plenty of places in this little car park, and there's also a car park by the... I'm all sweaty. I'm so sweaty with my rushing. There is another car park there's a big craft centre. That one was quite full, but yeah, you could easily park here if you were staying on the site and didn't want to walk down. There's a little post office there, a ferry shop. I might be able to get some book spray maybe from there. I've not had a chance to get any yet, so all I've got cream wise is a lavender Sleep Easy body butter, the feather down one, which I do always put on every night anyway, so I've been covering myself in that. So it's either gonna repel them a little bit, although I must admit midges have only had like one day of them when it was only for a few hours. So I've been putting this body butter on, and I thought it'll either repel them or it'll just make me go to sleep and I won't feel them biting anyway. And I've not actually felt anything bite me. However, when I sort of I get into bed, you know, when something starts, you can feel like a little itch on your leg or whatever, and then I'm looking, I've got quite a few bites on my legs, a few on sort of like my neck area, on my arms, but they're nothing horrendous, so they've obviously got me at some point. But definitely for when I come in June, I'm going to be more prepared, bug spray and a net as well. So yeah, I'll go and get my ticket, see how much it is, And then hopefully this should be a lot easier than getting the ferry from Oban. Fingers crossed. Honestly, this is the reality of me travelling anywhere. So I have rushed down to catch the 10:30. I'm all sweaty. Didn't let Molly sniff for a wee really. And I've just got here, got my ticket. Guess what? The 10:30 ferry isn't operating, so the next one is at 11:45. Because apparently there's a problem with the boat and the engineers are working on it. So there is the set boat down there. So yeah, come here Molly. The engineers are working on it. So he said it's just a case of kind of hanging about, and if it gets up and running beforehand, they'll let us all know. So at least it's a nice sort of like dry day. I'm gonna get a coffee. There's a couple of places to get coffee. There's toilets, there is an indoor waiting area as well, and it was £4.10 return, which I actually think is really good value. You said it's only like a 15-minute crossing, but £4.10, that's good. So I can find somewhere to have a coffee now, and hopefully I'll be on the island for at least for 12 o'clock. So we'll see. You watch. All the ferries will be cancelled today, just by luck. Lovely spot. Look at this. So there is like a nice area here as well to come and sit and chill for a little bit. So there's a few coaches in. It's nice, isn't it? Look. You can actually see it's not far at all, because there's the Abbey just across there. That's the Abbey. I better zoom in because I may not make it. There's the boat. There's the little houses when you get off the ferry. Right, coffee time. Well, I've got a bit of time to spare now. I've just walked back up to the Columbus Centre, which is like an arts and crafts place. This is where there is quite a decent sized car park, and it's a free one as well. There's a lot of motorhomes and campers parked at the top end there. And these are all car parking spaces. Now the other one by the ferry, I've just looked, and that one is £1 an hour, and it does say on the sign like no overnight residential vehicles, so I'm presuming that's aimed at you can't park in your motorhome overnight. No camping, no caravans. This one, there is a sign here, but it's been bent down and I can't really read it. Oh yeah, it's the same. No residential use of vehicles, 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. But if you just come in for the day, I'd park in this one because it's free. It's a lot bigger as well. And then it is just a little walk. It says 2 minutes, it's not 2 minutes. Just into the village there, where I said there's a post office, a little craft shop. Can't take dogs in there. At the ticket office place, there's toilets, which I've already mentioned, and you can get tea and coffee and stuff, and you can take dogs in there, so that's okay. So we're going to go and sit down and just admire the views for a little bit. Quite a few motorhomers coming in. I'm guessing they're going up to the site. Made it onto the ferry. So it's only half an hour late, but I'd literally just got a coffee, was about to sit down in the little coffee shop, and they came in announcing that the ferry's ready to go. So I just quickly grab my coffee, get to the ferry, but we're on it now. So now we've just hopefully got to get across and we don't break down in the middle. Oh dear.
Your safety is our highest priority, and therefore we ask you to please listen carefully to the following safety information. We operate a fleet of well-equipped vessels on all our routes throughout the west coast of Scotland. In the unlikely event of an emergency, you will be informed by means of an emergency signal, consisting of 7 or more short blasts, followed by 1 prolonged blast on the ship's whistle, alarm bell, or public address system. On hearing this signal, you should proceed directly to your nearest muster station. Follow the signs indicating the direction you should go, identified by a square green and white sign depicting a family group. Please take a moment to locate your nearest muster station. Your attention is drawn to the emergency instruction notices which are displayed at the muster points throughout the vessel.
Side. Look how clear the water is. There's the Abbey. Just look at that.
Welcome on board this Caledonian vessel. Your safety is our highest priority, and therefore we ask you to please listen carefully to the following. We operate a fleet of well-equipped vessels on all our routes throughout the west coast of Scotland. In the unlikely event of an emergency, you will be informed by means of an emergency signal.
So when you get off the ferry, there is toilets, there's somewhere to get something to eat and drink, and a lot of people seem to be making straight up towards the Abbey. I've heard of a few people, if you go the opposite way, obviously then it'll be a bit quieter later on, so that's what I'm gonna do. Not that I'm avoiding people, but there's molly wines, there's a lot of dogs about, so we're gonna go a little bit of a different way, I think. And I think I'm gonna get some lunch. At least we've made it here. I'm doing a left as I've come off the ferry. I've just been into the toilets, got my bikini on, which made it a lot easier than trying to do it on a beach. There's only a handful of people walking up this way, so everybody did make towards the Abbey. Go and find somewhere to have lunch. Just looking across, so that's where I got the ferry. That's where I walked along from the site, and then just over here there's a row of cottages, and I think they're the ones our new yard, which I can see from my tent. Can't see me very clearly, but yeah, I think that'll be just where my tent is, the other side of those cottages. I do always say that everything happens for a reason, and people come into your lives for a reason, or you meet people and it might not be apparent at the time. And I was just thinking then of the couple of ladies I met on a walk the other day in a previous video. The older ladies doing the backpacking around Scotland, and I did actually, when I was planning my trip, I thought about coming here just overnight onto Iona, just to camp overnight with like my very little two-man tent. but I didn't think there would be much here, so I thought, no, I'll stay where I am. But the more time I'm spending around Scotland, the more I'm thinking I could quite easily do the backpacking thing. Hello. Because I have brought so much stuff with me that I've not used, I've not needed. I think in my mind I'm still packing as though I've got the girls with me. So you've got to pack for every eventuality really. But you know what I'm going to do? And for people who've been following me a while on Instagram will know I do like all my luxuries. I'm going to just do a bit of backpacking while camping, I think, around Scotland. I think it's probably the best way to do it, the best way to see all the little places that you wouldn't really see. So those ladies, so back to my original thing of everything happening for a reason. I met those ladies because I'd gone on the wrong path on a walk. So I was meant to go along that path, and I met those ladies, albeit very briefly, because they have spurred me on to do the backpacking as well. So watch this space, guys. I'll probably live to regret it, but you know what? I want to do it, and I always say if you want to do something, there's nothing stopping you doing it, just do it. So I've got all the stuff, it's not like I have to buy anything new, I've already got everything. The only thing I will need is a big rucksack, because I don't think my tent would fit into my rucksack. So yeah, new adventures for me. I've got to say, this island's gorgeous, absolutely stunning. So I'm heading over to the other side. I'd literally just finished, put my phone away, and I've just come across the campsite which I'd been looking at online. So it's £8 for adults, children under 16 £5, dogs are welcome, free. So yeah, it'd be £8 for me and Molly. Toilet, showers, kitchen area, fire pit, barbecue area. So I know staying here isn't the wild camping sort of out in the wilderness, but to come onto the island and stay here a couple of nights just in my little tent, I think that would be lovely. Just look, I could spend a couple of nights here quite happily in my little tent with no airbed on the floor. On the sign, St Columbus Bay is 1.5 kilometres that way. So this is the path I've just walked up from. So I'm on the opposite side of the island now to where the port is. Looks like I found my lunch spot. There's just nobody here. So from leaving, well, from getting off the ferry, I've probably passed about 8 people. They're all bird watchers. So obviously this is the place to come if you're really into your birds. It's gorgeous. I found my spot for lunch. Lovely sandy beach. I can have a dip. Just look at the water. It's turquoise. Come on, Molly. Not cold either. Typical me, I've gone a little bit rogue, but I think as long as I keep water to the left of me, so it's over that way. So if I head over here, I think it's like a little sheep pathway. If I head over this lot here, I think I should get back to the Abbey area. I think. Well, we've clambered over a few big boulders, and I think I'm heading in the right direction. I was just thinking though, like so many people come here, don't they, to watch the wildlife and the birds and everybody that's got the binoculars. If anybody has just been watching me for the last probably 25 minutes, I bet I've been quite entertaining because I've been zigzagging backwards and forwards trying to find a path. I don't really know how that happened, to be honest, because it seems there was a path and then it just disappeared, and then I hit a fence with no style to get over, so I then had to follow the fence all the way around. I was making Molly go first because if it got a bit boggy I thought she can sink before me, but I think I need to be that way. This is looking a bit more promising because there's a gate, so obviously it must be a path. Yay! Oh, I was losing the will to live then. I bet I've seen more of Iona than the people who live here. So we've trekked. I'm so out of breath. All the way over that lot, which doesn't look a lot, but it's so up and down, it's really boggy. I bet we are getting back on the ferry full of mud. Oh dear, but on the plus side guys, look, it's there. So I'm going to attempt to just go straight across now. There is a gate ahead now. I don't know if the gate's on the other side of the fence or this side, but there's the Abbey and that's where I'm going. This is the Abbey that a lot of people do come on the island and see. You may notice it's gone a little bit cloudy now. You may also notice a change of my attire. There's a very good reason for that. I'm now second day on the island. Yesterday, after I'd made the post of finding the gate, it turns out the gate was the other side of two fences, so couldn't go that way. About an hour and a half later, I finally found where I needed to be, and that was after actually trekking through I won't say someone's garden, but I did ask if I could take a shortcut through because I had just lost the will to live. I lost my, I have a little not Wi-Fi box, sorry, a little battery pack that died. My phone died, so I was up a hill. I'm going to show you where it was in a minute. With just nothing. I'd run out of water. I had Molly's water, so we were kind of sharing that, but it was just an absolute fiasco. So when I did finally get back down onto the road I should have been on to see the yappy and everything else, I couldn't take any photos. So what I've done today is I've come back onto the island because the weather, as you can see, it's not too great today. It's very windy overnight. Yes, I've come back on just this morning, just for an hour and a bit, just to take some photos and stuff. So yeah, only I could, well no, actually it's not only I could get lost on Iona, because I was talking to a lady yesterday in the phone charging area of the site, and she'd also been on Iona yesterday and they'd done exactly the same thing. However, they'd done it the opposite way to me, so they'd been to the Abbey and then went up onto something like the coast path and then tried to take a shortcut across. And then she said the same, you just hit a lot of fences along the way which you don't see until you've actually gone over all the hills. So be warned, if you are coming to Iona, try to stick either to the main paths or just be aware that there are a lot of little fences that you can't see. But yeah, so I'm gonna go and just take a few photos and stuff, and then get the ferry back across and then start my next little adventure back on Mull. So bye for now. That hill in front there, that's where I was sat on top of yesterday. Not quite sure if I could make it any further. Beyond that hill is another hill, and another hill, and another hill. And funnily enough, looking at it now from this side, it actually doesn't look that big, but yesterday, do you know what? That hill was Mount Everest to me yesterday. Honestly. Oh, I done 28,000 steps yesterday and I covered just over 12 miles. Now bearing in mind, Iona isn't that big really, and I only done a fraction of the corner of the island. So that is how many times I was backwards and forwards, up and down. Look at that, this way to climb the hill. Absolutely no chance, mate. Not today. this gate here will remain etched on my mind for a very long time. That was the gate that brought me back to the real world. So that's the hill from the other side. I say, what a difference a day can make. Yesterday, this time I was in my bikini in the water. Today I've got all my layers on. Could really do with gloves. That wind is really biting. It's still a lovely island though. It's definitely a place to come.